of a mental decision gets in the way of your mission. Hasta la vista, baby. Money can buy you a seat.
All right, I had to hit record because Bill was already on fire before we started this, and I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to introduce you real quick. This is my good friend. Should I go by William? You have William on the Zoom here. I don't want to be too informal.
Oh. No, I'm Bill. You can go by Bill.
Okay, cool. Bill is awesome.
Change that.
For important meetings, maybe it looks better.
Yeah.
So as we opened up, we were just talking, and you mentioned, which I didn't think I would hear, is that you once played a John Cage piece.
Yes. It was a it was a solo for sliding trombone. I wish I actually had the music with me right now so I could just grab it and show you how bonkers this thing looks. But there's like 6 blank pages. There's no clef, no time signature. It's completely open and free form, and you could pretty much choose to play all of it, or a piece of it, or none of it at all, and somehow you're still performing it. I played some of it, at least.
Could you go from sections? Could you move around?
You could start in the middle if you wanted to. You could play it completely in reverse. There was a part where I just turned the music upside down, flipped the page, turned it upside down, and then turned it right side up again, just as a gag.
Yeah.
I guess it's basically something about like how every part of like what you do is kind of your performance. So you're almost trying to put some sort of theatric thing in there. I think I barked into the bell of my trombone too.
All right.
I haven't listened to that recording in a while.
We may have to share that one later. Clip that in here. So my John Cage experience is I once did a gig at the Elbow Room. I know you know that room probably.
Yep.
We hosted an open mic there many years ago, decades ago. Mm-hmm. And I might be saying this. What's the piece where it's 4 minutes and whatever of silence?
Yeah, it's 4:22.
4:22. Okay, so
yeah.
Well, it's not actually that one. There was another one where I think at Carnegie Hall, he ate an apple on stage. I think is what I recall. He got hired to perform, and that's what he did. He came on stage, ate an apple, and left. So I said, hey.
He got away with it too.
Yeah. So I did too. I said we were at the room. I told that story, and I said I just wanted to see what would happen if I did the same thing. So I set it up like that, and then I ate an apple while my friend Adam LeBeau walked around with a tip jar, and we got like $100. And I got to eat an apple. So there's something there.
That's beautiful.
They got a kick out of it, I guess, is what it's it. But that's the only John Cage I think I've tried. So the piece was, again, and this will lead into a question I just added a second ago.
It's called Solo for Sliding Trombone.
So the trombone does slide.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Some of them have a valve too, but it's still just a big old gangly slide thing.
Yeah. and that's some of these questions. They'll be all over the place. Like, the music is the theme, but we can go anywhere.
Word. But
one question I did think of was, I was wondering, because I teach music and there's certain things that are difficult on guitar, but it must be really hard at first to get intonation with the slide. Or am I wrong?
Yeah, that's probably the biggest challenge, because especially when you're in a group with other horn players, like, you never really know. I know I've always had a good ear, but I've actually noticed, like, lately I've been just going sharper and sharper on everything, and I don't know if that's just me kind of like losing touch or what, but keeping that intonation in that tonal center is a pain in the butt sometimes. When you're on it, but yeah. I guess that's why Ross Huff always talks so much about long tones.
Yeah.
If you ever follow his Facebook,
no, but it would make sense.
Baseball and long tones.
Yep. Well, I started playing Indian music after many years playing bluegrass. You okay?
Yeah. Dog's barking.
It's not a wolf.
No.
Okay. And
It's a mean
I don't think I've
guard
ever.
dog.
I don't think I've ever seen a traditional Indian band with the trombone, but it does. They do use the same notes, but they use a lot of the slides and bends. It seemed like it'd be a very cool addition, possibly.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is used in Indian music.
It might be.
I went, what is it, 2 or 3 years ago? I went to Arizona with my brother, and we checked out the Musical Instrument Museum, and I swear they had they had stuff from all over the world. But one of the coolest exhibits was like some of the trombones that were from like different parts of the world, and like the Philippines had one that was made out of reeds, and I thought I saw something from India there. So I'd have to go through like several thousand pictures to figure that one out.
You are probably right, and as people listen, they might think of 1,000 examples. You can put them in the comments.
I mean, if I'm wrong, I'll take that loss and just move on with my life.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That's fine. Not too. So some of these questions we'll deal with are for just for fun, but also for maybe musicians to listen to, or aspiring musicians, and to get some inspiration, or maybe some discouragement. Is that a word? Discouragement. Sure. I just said it wrong. But leads them to understand some of the realities of this passion if they really want to pursue it. You know?
Oh, yeah.
So it's just reality. But I'm curious, when did you start learning and playing music? Did you start with the trombone?
No. I want to say like 3rd grade around then. I was kind of trying out instruments, and I wanted to try and play the French horn, but I didn't like it. Just something about making noise on that thing, just it felt weird to me. About a year later, just out of the blue, I was looking at instruments one day, like thinking, oh, I'd like to try music, because my sister was taking piano lessons around that time, and I was like, well, that sounds cool. I want to do that. And I think my mom just randomly asked me, well, what about the trombone? I'm like, well, let's try it. And I just started making noise on it. It seemed to kind of click initially, even though I'm in 4th, 5th grade, and half of it's just fart noises.
Yep.
You grip it the wrong way, and that could have been it sounded weird at first, obviously, but I got into lessons right around then, and it kind of just never left me. It was sort of always like one of those things that I was just a little bit better at than I think most people around me, until I got to high school. Then I was in for a bit of an awakening. There was several fucking students that were so good. So you got to step up.
Yeah.
But I guess yeah, it just never really walked away or left me in any way. I just kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And it snowballed from there, I think.
Right. Yeah. You kind of recognize those things that you enjoy a little more,
mm-hmm.
and you just want to do, and those getting into groups where you're challenged.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to step up until you have to step up.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's a good way to do it. One thing I regret is earlier on, I was afraid to do that because I was afraid of not being good enough to play with people who are way beyond me. But if you just start that right away, start learning from that, it's going to help you, because those people were good because they did it.
Oh yeah, and I think too, like just learning the craft of music is constantly being reminded that no, you don't got it,
right?
Because you can always play it just a touch better, unless you're Jacob Collier, I think.
You're the second person to bring him up to me.
He's making everybody look bad.
Yeah, and the other person was actually somebody I previously did an interview. It was I think you're the third, actually. I think 2 people I did in these interviews. So people are serious about music, are recommending him for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect pitch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I played with a few people with that, and they could
Bobby
hear.
McFerrin and Prince had a musical love child.
Yeah, he's the guy.
And Frank Zappa was the kid's godfather. I think you kind of get that.
Yeah,
Jacob.
That's a good mix.
He does a lot of work with vocals. Sometimes he'll stream his Logic sessions online. He's got like 300 vocal tracks running at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
How do you do that, dude? He's only 25, 26 years old. His
Yeah.
ouch.
Some people just have it
Yeah.
right there, you know. Yep. Well, I guess you led me into the next question very good, because I know that I've played music with Bill and it's always been great. And I know that we must have many parallels as far as musical inspirations and early interests.
Mm-hmm.
But my question says, yeah, my question is for your whole career, for your whole life. What are some of the main musical groups and influences you've had? I mean, it might be right now, but think of the whole span, kind of.
I'll give. Yeah, I think my biggest musical like influence early on, when I started kind of listening to just rock or whatever, I fell like crazy into Beck when I was probably in 5th or 6th grade. I think Odelay was really big at the time, and then 7th grade rolls around and Midnight Vultures comes out. Just a real solid 1-2 of 2 great albums. And noticing Midnight Vultures is he had such a big ballsy horn section playing too, and he was combining it with so many crazy electronic noises. Just the whole product was bonkers and weird, and it just kind of jived with me. I think around that time I kind of fell into a little bit of electronic music too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that came about, but I heard a couple of tunes from Prodigy, and I was like, I like this shit too.
Yeah.
Then high school, I was really into Fish.
Okay.
For almost 4 years straight, that's all I listened to. Exclusive 6 years straight, 8 years straight. I listened to a lot of Fish for a long time. I liked their ability to improvise. But I think right around the time I was in the middle of college, I really fell into Frank Zappa, and that kind of replaced Fish. I look back at my time listening to so much Fish, going, I missed a lot of other stuff because I was listening to whatever Trey was doing, and I'm kind of out of that now.
Yeah.
I think a more recent some more recent influences probably like groups like Snarky Puppy and the Cat Empire. So yeah, that's kind of it's kind of like people who've influenced me plus a couple of my favorite bands at the moment.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if
they're kind of influencing me and the way I think musically now. So
yeah. Well, we definitely have a similar interest path. I think I'm a little older than you, so I mean,
are you?
I don't know. I think I am. I'm pretty sure I am, but
it's possible.
Like probably when you were in like the age you were into Fish, I was probably doing the Grateful Dead, and then Fish was at the tail end for me. Of course,
Yeah.
Zappa, for sure. Yeah. So, I like recently I've been interested in having fun actually with electronic music.
Okay.
Mixed with guitar with instruments. Just putting the things I know how to do on an instrument with that stuff, because you have a whole orchestra basically of sounds, and I can't afford to hire an orchestra.
No, but when you think of hiring an orchestra versus paying maybe $500 for a big orchestra set of software that you can kind of use for a long time,
Yeah.
it's almost a bargain when you think of it like that.
Oh, absolutely, and you can
It's still expensive though.
Yeah, so many sounds. I just like playing with sound, I guess that's it.
Yeah, I've gotten into that a lot too. Actually, I don't think you can see it in the shot, but like right where my hand is, just off screen, I got a couple of synthesizers just chilling out.
Yeah.
So I've been messing around with that kind of stuff too.
Now, are you recording right now? Do you use Logic or Pro Tools?
I use Ableton.
Okay, very good.
And I've got I actually have a UAD Twin interface into a laptop that I use just for recording.
Yeah.
I also have a desktop, but it didn't it's an AMD setup, so it's not that good to record with. So I just use that to play video games on.
Yeah.
And sometimes edit little bits of video.
Yeah.
But yeah, I record a little bit now. It's kind of fun, but I always feel like I start an idea and I don't always finish it. So I might have like 300 ideas that could go somewhere, and then I just stall out.
Yeah, that can be a struggle because there's so many cool things you can do. Like, oh, let's see what the next thing I can do is.
Oh yeah, and then you get lost diving into the library of noises or effects, and then you're like, and then finally one day you wake up, you listen to it, and you're like, this is a goddamn mess. What was I doing?
Yeah, maybe sometimes it's easy to add too much.
Yep.
Because you can.
Oh yeah. Wow, more delay, even more delay.
Yeah.
Let me just slam it with a limiter now.
Yeah, it's fun to play around. It is hard sometimes to get back to it and stay with it into the next movement or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you play? How many instruments do you play? I know I've seen you since you played with us with Back 40, and you did a lot more singing, and you were actually looked like you were the band leader on the stage to me.
Sort of, yeah. I consider myself more of a. I guess you could. Yeah, I mean, in a way, yeah. I'll direct a lot of the cues and the hits, like when we're wrapping up a song. And I think to say I'm the band leader, like sometimes there's like, no, you're not. You haven't written lyrics or whatever. Because a lot of the things, like, it's hard to say who, like. You've got Evan who does a lot of the booking. Shannon does a lot of the songwriting. I might do a lot of the in rehearsal, like kind of like, pointing or something like that to try and figure out stuff. So I think we all like have different strengths. Yeah, more of a band director.
Yeah, that's what I should have said. That's what I meant. 'Cause I don't know what goes behind the scenes, but on the stage, I noticed making definitely cues that were very clear.
Mm-hmm.
And with
that's like years of practice.
yeah, and those are important. They have to be obvious sometimes, and it's helpful.
And in time, and you can't miss your notes or your cues.
Yeah,
or your entrances, or your cutoffs.
Yep, that's a lot to think about. It's good for your brain.
Make sure you're pointing in the microphone too. Don't fuck up.
Well, when I saw you do it, you did it well. I didn't hear anything we missed, and it made the whole band sound great.
Thank you.
One thing I think about all the time is when we were playing with the funk brass horns. We borrowed very graciously. Hullabaloo let us borrow some of their horn section, and in the horn lines we'd have a rehearsal. We'd be jamming. We'd say, "This is the tune." We'd tell you the key, I guess, and then we'd start the tune, and you guys would turn around and huddle for what seemed like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And come back, and boom, there was a horn line in 3 parts. I was wondering, what is that conversation that happens? Because I never heard them. I could just hear the speakers, right?
Yeah. Oh, hey, let's try this one. And usually we just make a quick snap decision. I don't know. I can't tell you that. I actually really can't tell you what that was like, because any one of us would actually come up with just let's just play this like lick over it and harmonize, and then it's just all right. We're right into it. Yeah, I think it was just somebody had something, and we just said, all right, we're doing that.
Okay.
During the rehearsals, I think we also would break out a handful of ideas that just didn't work out. We'd kind of go back and try a different thing. But, maybe there was a round of us passing a line back and forth, or maybe it was just, fuck, we got nothing. So we just start throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, it sounded like it seemed pretty effortless. And so you each are what, if you have a line, you know what part you're going to take in that line automatically.
Kinda,
do the instrument.
Somehow it works. I guess if you're starting it off, you're kind of holding that spot, and then the other two would harmonize over or under. Which is usually why I think Mike would come up with more of the licks than I would, because I'd want to do something under or in the middle. It was easier to harmonize with him because he would always kind of be on the root or the tonic or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of easy to build off of that. But Alan, in terms of voicing and trying to kind of build off of that, Alan, it was pretty easy to do that when Alan would take the lead on a lick or something too.
Yeah.
So it was a little easier following them than creating the thing myself. But it happened once in a while.
Yeah. That makes total sense then, because once somebody starts, your ear will take you to the right part. I'm the same way with singing, because I can sing a melody And ask Colin and Andy this for sure. They always say, Dan, take the melody, because I know if they take the melody, I'm not going to be able to harmonize. I keep going to the octave and I keep going to the root. And it's hard for me for some reason to do that with my voice. Obviously, with the instrument, it's easier.
Yeah.
But I won't be in a bluegrass gospel band ever, probably.
No?
I don't think so. Not if they want me to sing.
Well, I mean, not with that attitude or not.
Okay, I will. I'm going to start one tomorrow.
It'll be your favorite.
All right. On that note, we're going to take a short break and listen to this awesome music. Stay tuned for the next part. Dun, 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 dun.
Everybody wave at me. Distance, what does it all mean to me? Well, I look back at the forest, I look out at the sea, I look up at the mountain looks back at me. The power of the earth is hit that mind, the fight in the noise, but it's one thing, and when I think so, I said I think so. Said he sits, but he can't